Hello and welcome everyone. This is Alberto Rao, and first and foremost, thank you very much for making it to this incredible webinar tonight. This is an exclusive webinar we're hosting today for my members. I've been trading Forex for about 8 years now, and it is with great pleasure that I am here with two other incredible, I would say, Forex traders. We have Sebastian Ye and Simon Roberts on the line, who will be introducing what I think is an incredible trading system. So Sebastian and Simon, welcome.
Hello, Alberto. Hi, everybody.
Simon, can you hear us okay?
Simon just connected. He'll be joining in a moment.
Thank you. So we can carry on in the meantime. For those of you who don't know me yet, I've spent a lot of time in the markets, and I'm now, as years go by, we see that automated Forex trading and system-driven Forex trading is what actually drives the Forex market. When I was trading for Deutsche Bank and Barclays a few years ago, we were coming to notice how actually hedge fund flows and interbank trading systems were actually determining the movements in the Forex markets. So without further ado, I gather that most of you know me quite well, and I don't want to take any more time from what is going to be a very precious webinar, in my opinion. So I will quickly hand it over to Sebastian Ye, who I've had the chance to speak of and speak with a few times and test his trading system. I think the unique thing about Sebastian and Simon is that, unlike many other traders out there, Simon and Sebastian make a full-time living trading Forex. And what they are presenting today is not the latest system they developed, but it is instead the system that they use on a day-to-day basis to make what is a very comfortable living and obviously pay their bills. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Sebastian. And first of all, I will ask, and I know, Sebastian, you mentioned this, you did not come from a financial background.
No.
So what was the turning point? I mean, how did you get into Forex trading, and most importantly, what helped you succeed so that others can follow your lead?
Yes, hi. Once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Sebastian. I'm a founder of Paintball Forex, also the system developer. My story is probably not unique to many of you. I'm pretty sure I've done everything you are doing or you have been doing in the past. I am a musician by training. I started trading around probably 03 or 04. Interestingly, at that time I work as a musician, and I have a lot of free time. And how I get started with trading is that one night I was watching a late night infomercial. It says we teach you how to trade, and I got interested in that. I thought, well, if they can do that, I can do it too. So I signed up for the course. I remember that was the first course I took, and it cost me about $7,000. It was a course for stock trading and options. And looking back right now, of course, I realize that that $7,000, I didn't really learn a whole lot. Basically, they're teaching you about what is a bull candle, what is a bear candle, what volume plays a role in your trading decision. But I don't regret, because that's how I got my feet wet. And in the first couple of months, I had beginner's luck, and I didn't know anything about money management, trading psychology. I just learned the basic, and I went to the stock market. I think during the first couple of months, the market was pretty bullish. So it's like whatever I buy, I make money. And I didn't even know about earnings, what date is earnings and what that means. So I remember one night I just accidentally bought a stock, and the next morning it popped up, and I made like $3,000 overnight. So at that time I feel like, wow, I was on top of the world. I cannot be beaten. Every trade I make was a winner. But then, of course, eventually came the quote-unquote graduation day, right? So I bought a stock and at the high, and I bought it at $34, and in a week it dropped to 18. Every day I was just praying. I was hope. I couldn't do anything. I was shaking, literally, looking at the chart, looking at the market, and that wiped out half of my account in just 1 week. So at that time I decided, no, I cannot let this happen. I need more education. I need to learn. So from there I started going to different forums and then start taking seminars, webinars, buying DVD courses, reading books, and I start leasing indicators, buying different systems. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. And but interesting thing is that almost all systems I tried just didn't work. I wouldn't say that they're completely junk or failure, but they're just not really intuitive, or it requires a lot of interpretation. And I'm sure some people will make it work, but at that time not me. So after about a year, then I decided, no, I can't go on like this, and I decided to learn how to code the indicators. And it also took me about 6 months. I was on TradeStation. I was a TradeStation user, and so I started learning easy language. And in about 6 months, I got sufficient with easy language, and I started coding things. And over the years, I coded several hundred indicators. I think if you look at my platform right now, you will see a lot of different indicators. But of course, a lot of them are useless. Ooh. So after a while, I finally come up with a set of indicators that I think is really good. It covers the price action, it covers momentum, it covers cycle, and then over time, I also improved it and make different upgrades to the indicators and make it even better. I was using those indicators myself, and when I designed those indicators, I didn't really think about selling them or sharing them, but the first website was completed in an accident. It was just an accident. I signed up for a web hosting program, but I didn't want the website. I called the website company. I said, "Can I cancel it?" They said, "No, you can't, but you can add one more." So at that time, I said, "Okay, I can have another website. What should I do with it?" So I started learning how to build a website. Well, just very basically, and I post my charts, my trades on the website, and I see if there's anybody interested. But to my surprise, there was. And then soon, people somehow they found my website, and so over the years, I started communicating with traders around the world. I got a lot of nice testimonials, and I didn't even realize how good the system was because I was the only one who was using it. It worked for me. I didn't know if it would work for others, but until I built the website and started getting all these compliments almost on a daily basis, then I realized what I actually have done. So I was kind of secretly proud of myself. So this system had helped a lot of people out there, and I'm sure it can help you too.
Wow, that's very inspiring. So as you created the system, and in your own words, you didn't realize how good the system was. On the way to getting to such profitable system, what did you struggle with, and most importantly, how did you overcome these struggles?
Oh, I made all the mistakes, all the textbook mistakes. I remember there were times I just got up like 30 minutes before the opening bell. I didn't eat lunch. I sit there all day long. I trade from the opening bell to the closing bell, and then I would make 20, 30, 50 trades like crazy and just keep going in. And I would revenge trading. I would overtrade. I did everything. I did everything, every mistake there is. And but a lot of it is because of all the like false signals from the system or lack of understanding of the market, and of course the psychological part of trading that I was not really aware. I mean, trading really reveals your personality. It really tells a lot about who you are. So I have to confess, like even today, this morning, I made a trade. I got out at was how much? $690. Yeah. So I made $690 on the trade, and then as soon as I got out, it pops in my direction again. And Simon called me. I was really angry at myself. So even today, I still have this kind of. I'm just kind of a perfectionist. You know, later I will show you some charts of my live trades, and you will see what I'm talking about. But trading really takes time, and you really need to learn about yourself. I mean, over time, a few years ago, I had a back injury that kind of temporarily ended my music career. So that's when I turned to trading full time. Before that, I was kind of like, you know, on days that I didn't have to work, I would trade all day. But it was until the injury that I told myself I really have to make this happen. And I started paying a lot of attention to myself, to the inner self, and to the system, refine my system, and then finally, you know, I turned the corner.
Wow. So now I think you've made us all very curious after such a story about the system. So why don't you tell us a bit about the system and why we kind of know why you developed it, but what makes it different from all the other Forex systems, and more technically, what markets does it trade, and what time frames, what styles, and so on and so forth?
Oh yeah, the system actually works on all markets and all time frames, not just the Forex, but on Forex pair, on MetaTrader, it works on all different pairs and all time frames. Now, why is it different? What makes it better than the other indicators? Now we know most of the indicators, you can probably put indicators into two categories. One indicator that if something like, for example, like MACD. MACD tells you the momentum, but MACD is a lagging indicator. So indicators are either lagging or I wouldn't say leading. Let's say sensitive. So lagging indicators are just useless because they're slow. You know, it takes 14 bars, 21 bars of calculation, and then you put it on your chart. Once the indicator generates a signal, the move is already, you know, very well underway. But you want to really get into the trade in the beginning of the move. You don't want to get in halfway, right? So especially, you don't know how far the price will go. So it is very likely, especially if you're a scalper, if you have a lagging indicator, pretty much when the indicator generates a signal, when you get in, the move is probably about to be over. You know, so you leave a lot of profits on the table. Okay, so lagging indicators is useless. How about the ones that's more sensitive, like stochastic? Lots of people use stochastic. The standard is 1433, and some people change to 533 to make it more sensitive. The thing is, when the stochastic goes to overbought, oversold, and if the market keeps going in that direction, it will give you a lot of false signals because it keeps popping out of the overbought, oversold zone, giving you a signal to go to the other, to go against the trend. But then that's how you get killed multiple times. So to solve this problem, you really need an indicator that is very fast. That is fast enough, but also smooth, so it doesn't give you false signals. So right now, let me just show you some charts, and those are my live trades. And you can see the indicators, and I'll explain along the way how this works. Now, for example, here's a trade. By the way, because those slides to put on the webinar, I just grabbed part of the screenshot. I mean, the complete screenshot there's actually my trade statement below the chart. If you're interested, we can send that to you just to prove that I actually made those trades. So over here, you can see. So why did I make this trade? Why did I get in there? Okay, very, very easy. Very easy. Now, this white line OSLV, you can see there's actually a higher low. So when the market makes a lower low, and actually a much lower low, and the squeeze indicator had a slight lower low, but that I still count as a divergence. Now, the divergence on the white line is very, very clear. It's quite obvious, right? So over here, oops, grab the pen again. So over here you have a higher low, over here you have a lower low. Now this tells you the market is about to turn. Now so the actual signal, you have a green histogram on the green dot, the short-term trend bar is green, and then you have a blue candle turning from red to blue, closes above the cyan fast-moving average. Now I have everything. So there, I go long, right? So once I go long, and what happens is, you see the histogram, I'm sorry, just grab the pen, went from below zero to above. Now you have a pullback that is to be expected, but a lot of people cannot hold the trade for maximum gain, right? A lot of people will panic. Well, you can, if you get in here, that's where I got in 1.4297, which is around here. Of course, you can always take partial profit or get all out because you can always go back in again over here. But because I trade with the system for a long, long time, so when I see this, I know the trend is going to continue. And so what I did, I held on to the trade, and then I put my trailing stop. At this point, I think my stop should still below my entry. Then it came down here, it went back up. Then I start trailing my stop along with these two parallel lines, which I called I tunnel. So initially, when the trade goes in there, again, blue bar turning from red, closes above the cyan, and here is green, green, green. Everything turns green. Medium term, long term, short term, it's all green. Okay, so I start trailing the stop along with the bottom, the lower I tunnel. But once you have this momentum bar, you want to trail with the upper I tunnel. So it goes there, goes there, goes there, and I actually got out there. Well, part of it was luck. I got out at 14444 for 147 pips. Yeah, like I said, it's like really near the top. I get in almost without any drawdown, although there's a pullback that, could scare you a little bit. But I got in here, there's no drawdown. The market didn't go against me at all, and I got out there. So pretty much the entire move. And so why did I get out there? Because the white line goes, this is like stochastic, only it is smooth. But it is, of course, not as stochastic. So it is smooth. Now you have warning, you have yellow dots coming up, and then you have red dots coming up. And then you see this line, it begins to flatten, flatten, flatten. You know the end of a move is near. So again, got lucky and get out there. So I got 147 pips out of this trade. So that's pretty cool. You'll see lots of things I'm talking about here. After this seminar, you become an expert of using this this system. Now over here, this trade, you can see that we have a quasi double top. This is a slight high. This high is slightly higher, but again, you can see the squeeze actually go slightly lower. Now, the EMAs are, the two EMAs that they're coming together, so there's basically no trend, right? So at this point, I went short on here. So I got the divergence, I got red histogram on red middle dot, and the short term is red, and the white line is turning down, and I got the divergence there, so I went short on here. Now, I shorted here, as you can see, the entry here, entry price, and so obviously I put my stop up just above here, right? So this is my risk. If I'm wrong, that's how much I'm going to lose, right? So the price broke down below the EMAs. In the manual, I discussed about this. It goes down. It very likely will come back and retest the EMA. So if you didn't get in there, you can still come in here. That's your the second chance. Now again, and then I trail the stop along with the I tunnel, and the market just keep running. I just keep trailing, right? You want to put, because the price eventually will either pull back inside the I tunnel or to the EMAs. So when you trail the stop, you want to put the stop a few pips above the upper I tunnel. So over here, just remember my risk is this much, okay? Now let's look at what happened next. So the next slide, oops, I think someone is trying to help me. Okay, so right there. So I shorted $123.86 right there. Okay, remember how big my risk was? That's my entry, and that's my entry. So this is my risk. If I'm wrong, I get stop out right there. That's my risk. And then, so from there, the market just keeps falling, and I trail the stop above the I tunnel. Over here, almost got stop out, but no. And again, pull back, but no. And then it comes down. So it hit the low at 122.30. So that's what? That's like 156 pips max. But of course, this time I'm not really that good. I didn't get out of there, right? So this trade I actually got out at 130 pips in one trade. Now, also it's important, not only you trail the stop to protect your profit, you also look at the multiple time frames. It's an important skill to learn. Now, if I switch to a 5-minute chart, you look at the 5-minute chart, it's almost a perfect entry right there where I shorted here. Where's the pen? I shorted here, and my risk is that, and I got out somewhere around here. So if you look at risk-reward, this is my reward. That is my risk. So that's like what? 10 to 1, 8 to 1? I don't really know. But look at this chart. There is just no place telling you to get out until here. You get a cyan. I'm sorry, I just covered it. You get a cyan fast-moving average. Over here, you got the yellow candle. That's a warning. The yellow candle here is a warning too, and it actually turned blue for 1 bar. But the moving average, the fast-moving average, never turned. This is red. This is red. This is all red. Everything is red. It's oversold. But look at this oversold. It stays oversold. It never really come out of the oversold area. That is important. Even if you go short here and get out when it comes out, you see, if this is stochastic, it will do something like this. It will chop you out several times. But there's nothing on this chart telling you that you should get out. Nothing. So it's either red or green. You cannot go wrong. Why would you even want to go long on any of these places, right? No, because this it's all red. Everything just tells you to stay in there. And the I tunnel is far, far away on this chart, but on the 1-minute chart, you should trade with your signal chart. But look at the 5-minute chart, you can, one trade like this a week, you will make your bottom line. It will really help your bottom line. Now, let's talk about scale in, scale out. Actually, I didn't scale out on this trade. So this chart over here, I was in a trend trade mode that night. I remember very clearly. This is so from here, this is London Open. Again, I got green EMAs. That tells me the trend is up. I should be looking for long trade. Okay, so the candle closes above the cyan moving average. I got this dot here, from red turning to green. The upper line is green. This white line started turning up. So I went long for 1 lot here. Again, so this is 1, this is 2. Now there is a divergence. If you're a scalper, you can actually take a profit and or go short here on this part. So you would get in, you would buy here and short it here, or sell or short it here, and then your target would be the EMA level, which is here. So, but I didn't do it because I thought the trend is not over yet at that time, and so I wait quite a bit, and the market is drifting sideways, and then pull back to the EMAs. And incidentally, it is like a 50% retracement over here. So at this time, you know, when the price pulled back in there, I already put my stop somewhere below the EMAs, just in case if it doesn't bounce, then I'm just gonna get out. I will give up a lot of profit, you know, if I'm wrong, but still I'm not losing, right? At least that's what I'm getting. So fortunately, it comes into the EMA and it bounced, right? It bounces off the EMA. The EMA serves as a great support resistance area. So again, like here's a divergence, you can short or you just hold on to your trade. Now here I bought another lot. I just scaled in my trade. Always scale into your winners. You know, actually I don't quite like to scale out, but I like to add to my winners. So over here again, you have a yellow candle, yellow or blue. Closes above the cyan, change from red. Here you got a green on green. You got this already green. You got this oversold already turning up out of this zone. Everything is aligned, perfect. So I add one more lot here, and boom, goes higher. Same thing here. Green, 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 turn. This time it didn't pull back to the EMAs, it only pulled back to the I tunnel, like I said. And then you got a yellow candle, boom, market in. Another one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 3 lots. And the market go there and didn't go far enough, and I just wait for one more time, bounces, and then I got all out. But over here, I actually scaled out once. And this one, I got out where? I got out here, which is for the third lot, the entry level of the third lot, to protect my profit in case it doesn't keep going, right? So the first lot is from here to here. Once again, my entry is here. My stop, initial stop is here. The first lot got out there. I took no heat. The trade didn't go against me at all. This is my risk. This is my reward. So what is that? 8 to 1, 10 to 1? I don't know. So the second one I got in here, again, I took no heat at all. It just go in my direction right away, and I got out there. So that's my risk. That's my reward. Right? And then adding one more lot, adding one more lot. So the total is the market moved 120 pips from here to here. Okay? This is a 120 move. 120 pip move on the market from here. Lost the pen. From here to where I got out. The market moved 120 pips, but I made 197.8 pips. Okay, so that's, again, the power of scaling in. And why did I decide to get all out there? Because, again, you need to look at higher time frame. Sometimes I count the waves, but the wave doesn't mean it's an LA wave or anything. It's just the market doesn't go in the same direction forever, right? So you got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about to be over. Besides, it's 75 minutes for this trade, and I already made almost $2,000. So that's enough. Don't be greedy. You never go broke taking profit. So we look at a few like trending market. What about the ranging market? It's even better. It's a no-brainer. This is really a no-brainer. Tell me you can't trade this chart, right? So here you got an oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought. Look at that. Look at that. It's practically just picking top and bottom on the ranging market. So it works on ranging market too. Now, how do you get out? So here you have overbought, but you wait for the divergence. Now here's the divergence. Now you get out in short, right? Here, it's a long signal. Here again, here's the divergence. The divergence will tell you the exact top. Look at that. It's the top here, right? It's the top. And here's no divergence, but it shows you the top of. Now look at this. You pull back. The middle line never turn red. Keep holding it, and you go up even more. And you get out red on red. Now here it has an overbought signal. You get out there. So on this chart, you buy here, sell here, short there. You buy here again, you short here. You buy here, the yellow again. Yellow close above the cyan. Yellow close above the red and magenta. You short here. You buy here. You short here or close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 winners in a row. And really pretty much make it no-brainer. Right? So those are, I don't remember if this is from my live trade. Probably not. I think I only saw this, the last one. I took a trade from here. I wasn't trading at this time. So, but again, you have seen those trading examples. I have a lot more examples, even on different markets or different time frames or different platforms. But you can see now how powerful this system really is.
And I think, Sebastian, you've got the obvious question on the slide here, which is, as you pointed out, I mean, the system picks out tops and bottom with incredible accuracy. And we could all see that in the charts, and I've started trading the system, and I can confirm that. But what I was wondering is, you have, several years of very successful trading experience. I've got a few years as well, and so on and so forth, and so has Simon. Is this system really for everyone? I think you've got a great question there on the slide. Is it easy to learn for someone, like I suppose a lot of the people on this call who have not much Forex experience? So can it be used by anyone, and is it easy to learn?
I would think so, because everything is color-coded, and the divergence is also very, very clearly, very, very obvious. I'm pretty sure you can see those. Like, for example, over here, so you say, well, how do you know? I mean, pretty much you can know a divergence is coming before it comes. I'll show you something like over here. For example, here you have a high, and the yellow dot will pick out the swing high and swing low for you automatically. Okay, so on this bar, when the price actually exceeded the previous high, when the price goes higher than the previous yellow dot, you look at your squeeze. Now, is the histogram here on this bar, is it higher than the previous high? No, it's not. So before this divergence even occurs, you already know there is a divergence coming. So you can anticipate the trade. Either take out for a profit, get ready to get out and book your profit, or get ready to go short. Now, again, everything is color-coded. You wouldn't short the blue bar, right? You wouldn't go long on the red bar. You wouldn't go short on the green bar, right? So I try to make this really, really intuitive. But you have a good point, Alberto. I think you still need to paper trade. You still need to spend screen time. I'm a full-time trader. I do nothing else but trading. I trade futures and options during the day. I trade Forex during the night. That's why a lot of the chart examples you see are like after midnight. So, I mean, trading is my life. I mean, it's my passion. I just stare at those charts and and that's what I do. But really, after a while, I don't even have to think twice. I don't have to think. I don't have to analyze. It's like the chart just tells me what to do. And with not only is highly accurate, as you can see from those examples, not only is highly accurate, and the most important thing is the risk reward. No heat on this trade here. No heat here. No heat here. Of course, it is drifting, and I have to book my profit here just to protect myself. But I have this one, and this one I already have so much open profit already, so I'm not afraid to add one more over here. Again, every entry is like no heat. I take no heat. Okay, if I just show you one, that's lock. Show you two, but this is 4 entries in a row. And it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Yellow bar, yellow bar, yellow bar, above the turning, cyan, fast moving average above the green EMA. when this turns green, when this turns green, it's all the same. It's just repeat itself. It's really like a no-brainer. And we started this MT4 platform just last year, but I have this indicators and system for on the market for about 4 and 5 years. I can't remember which year I started. But it was last year when Simon is actually a customer of mine. He bought the indicator package for a different platform many years ago. And last year we got reconnected, and he called me and we had a chat. And he is an expert in building platforms and websites, and he knows a lot about MetaTrader. So he asked me if I'm interested in offering this to MetaTrader. Initially, I said no because I heard that there's no security on the MetaTrader platform, which means people can steal my code. But Simon suggested that there's another way to work around that, and it actually worked. So I worked with Simon and created the Forex website. So
wow.
In the last 4 or 5 years, I have really literally, I don't know, maybe hundreds of customers, because there was nobody promoting my site. So and people just found my website for I don't know how. But yeah, I work with hundreds of people. I would say, surprisingly, half of them bought the indicators and I never heard from them anymore. And they came from nowhere. They just, out of the blue, bought the package and they disappear. And then, of course, many of them would, send me an email, say, well, this is fantastic, great, thank you. Things like that. And this, I posted as testimonials on my website. And then the other, about 1/3, will probably ask questions once or twice, 3 times, and they're on their way. There are, indeed, a few people that struggle for a while, but I work with them. And really, I want to say the most important thing is nothing replaces the screen time. Nothing replaces the screen time. I cannot help you with psychology. I cannot change your personality. That's the part you have to work on by yourself. But nothing replaces the screen time. You stare at the chart long enough, it will just tell you what to do. I promise that.
And Sebastian, I think I wanted to ask, just to recap, so coming back to your point about screen time, correct if I'm wrong, it's effectively the system will show you on your charting platform on MetaTrader, it will show you the entry and the exit points as you showed up on the chart. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's you still have to learn the system, right? I mean, there is discretion involved, but there's not a lot for you to interpret it. It's all
right.
Green, red, blue, everything's like that. But of course, if you have just some very basic market knowledge, like for example, why did I get in here? Because I see a double top. But not only is a double top, the double top, of course, I don't need to code indicators to tell you it's a double top, because you have the yellow dots already plotted. You can clearly see, it's kind of like a double top. But double top is not important, not by itself is not, enough information. But then you have a divergence on the squeeze. And then then you consider, if I go in there and wrong, how many pips will I lose? Literally nothing,
right?
10 pips. How would you like to, risk 10 and make 130?
Sure.
But this is as clear as it can be. People might email and ask, well, why did you go short? Because the EMA is still green. Well, the EMA is green because the EMA is lagging. The EMAs are serving as a support resistance, and that's all there is, But yeah, it's green. But again, because consider the risk reward, would I take it? Yeah, I would. I can risk 10 pips. Of course, I wouldn't know. Eventually, I would make like 130 pips or whatever. I wouldn't know how far the market will go. But because my risk is so small, so I'm willing to take the chance and see what happens.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, your system, and you